Found him. Nuclear Cadillo. Cadillo. Crazy dude. It's so funny to mess with him.
Is this the guy with the hat and the headphones in that picture?
Yeah, and that's what he looks like. I'm like, bro, like
Oh, that's rough.
literally.
You
Yeah.
should not be talking.
I've never even like given my phone number to anyone that even looked close to you. Like I've never ever talked to anyone like you.
Oh my god.
Hey, what's up, guys? Let me know if you hear me well. I've been tinkering around with my Rodecaster, so if it doesn't sound good, I mean, it's gonna sound a little robot-y. It's been sounding like that, but I still haven't figured it out. Re-downloaded firmware and messed around with some settings, but you know. Anyways, guys, just wanted to talk about something very important. One of the most important conversations I'll have with my followers, because it could save you from going crazy, right? And even worse, right? You said to turn up the gain just a bit. How about now? Is it better? Is it better now? Test, test, test. So, yeah, like I was saying, guys. All right, thank you. Today's a very important topic, right? Because this is a topic that really is one of the hardest things I had to understand in dating, and it didn't click until like very recently, like maybe last year in my life, right? And it was just something that uh, people, guys, especially have a hard time grasping their role when they date with women, right? We have this masculine bravado, this kind of secret king energy or whatever, where guys all think that once they sleep with the chick, that she's going to be obsessed with him and want to lock him down, right? And that's really not true, and it seldom is, right? Because if that was true, women would be in relationships right now, right? Um, the truth is, uh, as a man, when you do date, right, and you do go out and meet women, and let's say you do sleep with them, right? That first date really is just she's trying to see who you are and see if you are congruent, right? First off, that you're not a weirdo, you're not going to hurt her later on, right? Because being weird, she wants to see that you're socially um, calibrated, right? And she also wants to see that you are uh, how you look like in your pictures, like more of that congruency and all that stuff. And she wants to see, she wants to give you the opportunity to, wow her, impress her, sweep her off her feet, right? There's this belief um, that every date a girl goes on is like her chance to finally leave the streets. And for a while, guys believe this. They were just like, oh, well, I'm so awesome as a guy. She's on a date with me. That must mean that once I hook up with her, then she's going to have like this genuine burning desire or deep conversion, like Nick Rouser talks about. But the truth is, that's not always true, right? Women sleep with men for many reasons. But from what I've seen, when we first, after that first kind of like testing period to make sure that you're not a weirdo or anything like that, you sleep with her and all that, and also that you're not clueless in bed and that you don't live under a bridge or anything crazy that would disqualify you from just a sexual relationship, right? She's going to assign you a role. And a lot of guys don't want to hear it. They think that it's like unmasculine for a woman to choose what your role is in your life, right? And that's what we're going to talk about today. Also, guys, can you hear the sound drops? Here, I'm going to put on some sound drops. You guys let me know if you hear them. Uh here's one. You guys hear that? That come in? It's supposed to be like laughter. No. How about this one? Copy. Copy. I don't know what's up with this roadcaster. How about this one? This came in. What'd you guys hear? Choppy? Okay. Jesus, man, I hate these. This freaking technology doesn't. Okay. All right, guys. So let's move on, and then I'll just work with what I got. Right. So the other day I dropped a tactical nuke of a tweet.
Tactical nuke incoming!
Something like that. It was pretty bad, right? I don't know if you guys heard the sound drop, but that was like tactical. I'm gonna pull it up here, and it's not one of my more viral tweets, right? But it did really kind of rustle some jimmies, and even my own loyal followers and guys that I trade notes with were also kind of bothered by this, right? And the truth is that like I get why, right? And it's because there's this belief that men, we have a certain power in the dating market where we get to control access to relationships, right? Like, we all say, hey, women uh control access to sex, and men control access to relationships, right? And that hurt a lot of people's feelings. It got them like, hey, how could you think like that? How could you let yourself get pushed around like that? But we're gonna talk about that. Hold on, I'm still trying to find, where is it? Yeah, it's, holy crap. Yeah, where is it? Give me a sec, guys. Okay, here we go. Yes, August 23rd. I will pull it up soon. Let me make sure my screen is safe. Okay. So share screen. We're not going to share the audio. Okay. Yeah, I'll try to. Yeah, I guess when you play a sound drop, you got to be quiet or something. Who got the 25 streak? Yeah, because of the nuke drop. Yeah. All right. Petition to kick and report Jack. All right, guys. One in the chat. If just kidding. All right. So here we are. Right. Uh, the tweet was, the first few dates are for her to make sure that you get it and that you're not clueless in bed. After that, she will assign your role. So when I say get it, I mean, like understands game, understands charm and attraction, understands how to talk to women, when she's rejecting you, when she's making a move, just game in general. Guys that get it, right? That's what I'm trying to say with get it. And that you're not clueless in bed, right? A lot of girls, one of their biggest fear is that they hook up with a guy and the guy's absolutely trash in bed or something, just completely clueless. So that's what she's really checking for, those two things. Um, and then once you get past that, and she likes you enough to sleep with you and all that, she's gonna like, okay, I got a guy that I want to sleep with, that and then a lot of guys from there, this is where they start messing up. They think that that woman is automatically like on your program. She's gonna try to lock you down. She's gonna be obsessed with you. She's gonna start becoming get that famous genuine burning desire that everyone talks about, and that you're golden, right? But then this is what happens with this is what ends up happening, right? Guys have this fantasy, this alpha male fantasy where I slept with the chick, she's obsessed with me, and she wants me. Whereas the girl is just like, oh, I got a guy I can sleep with on Tuesdays because Wednesdays I work late and I could, and that's it, guys. That's literally that simple. And this is why we say it's so important for guys to be like, hey, the relationship is her problem, right? And we're gonna get into some of these comments, right? Let's move on. So, Moon, smart guy. He said I think a lot of men's dissatisfaction comes from an incongruity between. I don't think incongruity is a word. I think it's incongruency, but let's just go with it. Incongruity between their assigned role and their desired standing. Accepting it is the only way forward, right? And that's why a lot of guys are mad in dating, right? Because even the men that sleep with women that are inexperienced but still starting to have a little bit, sleeping around with women, right? They have this fantasy in their head that there's some amazing godlike, entity, and that the girl's gonna start revolving her whole life around him. When that couldn't be more farther from the truth, right? You're the Tuesday guy, you're the Friday 1 a.m. call guy, right? And it gets darker. Like if you really think about it, I'll go with some personal examples here too. This is not meant to like black pill anyone, right? This is meant to so you don't get ahead of yourself. Stop putting the cart before the horse and start letting her worry about what you guys are, right? I believe personally it's very feminine as a man to once you sleep with the chick in your mind start thinking that you're important to her, right? That's a feminine way to think. You as a man, once you get enough experience, right? What you don't want to happen, right, is to start worrying about, you know, what what you mean to a woman, right? We all know how fickle women are. We know that women one day will be absolutely in love with you, and in another they'll be like gone forever, right? And women would love for you to worry about it just as much as they do. That's just how they want to even the playing field, like passing on that eroticism about relationships and their standing with men to you. That is the big issue here, right? A lot of people will tell you if you think like me, a lot of people will tell you you're cold, you're calculated, you're lost, you're just a cold-hearted man. I'm like, no, it's just I am responding to what is going on around me. And this is one of those parts of dating and intersexual dynamics that even the biggest red pill content creators don't want to discuss, right? Because it plays into this ego fantasy that every woman you sleep with is going to want to start chasing you and want a relationship. And that is actually it's the other way around. Most women that sleep with you don't want a relationship, right? So you have these mid-level guys, mid-level people, whether it be in a space or on Twitter, complaining and saying, how could you say something like that? Men control access to relationships. I'm like, well, think about it, guys. Do most women want to sleep with most men? Absolutely not. And every day that number dwindles. So you as a guy, do you have access? Do you control who gets in a relationship with you? No, you don't. No, you don't. Because the only way to get to a relationship in 2024, right, is you have to have sex first. So if a woman doesn't want to have sex with you, you're not even in the running. No matter how good of a boyfriend or how awesome you are, a woman that does not want to fuck you does not want to be in a relationship with you either. And if you do think that way, you're going to get friend zoned, right? And she's going to use you. And that's not even a relationship. That is being friend zoned, which is even worse, right? So that's why I say women control access to both sex and relationships, right? Because women will not want to be your girlfriend or exclusive to you until she fucks you first. That is the cart before the horse. Guys are just like, I control access to relationships. What relationships, dude? Which ones? Are women under 25, 26, women that have like are in their peak and don't even know what the wall is, have no urgency to settle down? Are those women knocking on your door? saying, "Hey, what are we?" Yeah, once in a while, one will do that, and we're gonna get into that too. But that's what we mean when we say, "Hey, they control access to both," because most women don't want to have, even if you're the most attractive man, like all the work I put into myself. One of the last things I learned a couple years ago was that, hey, most women find me unattractive, and that's okay, right? I am not their type. I they are in relationships already, or there's another guy that was there first, or they just simply don't like my race or don't like any arbitrary, like women are can be picky and they're becoming pickier by the day, right? So meaning that I'm not even in the running, right? So why would I say, hey, um men control access to relationships? Relationships with who? With the 0.01% of women um that want that are smashing into the wall and are just looking for a guy to settle down. That's not even a relationship at that point. You're insurance. You're the way out. That's what I'm saying, and that's this masculine power fantasy, this ego fantasy, thinking that every woman you sleep with is some kind of like they're so desperate to get in a relationship with you. Absolutely not, and that's gonna kill your game. And it's gonna and women will run away from you, right? And it's ridiculous because guys are just like, you let women push you around like that. What do you mean? Some guy in the future is gonna pay full price for that girl. And not only that, full price for that girl when she's out of options. When I say options, women will always have sexual options. I'm talking about relationship options, right? And I'm getting it basically for free. So am I really getting pushed around, or am I making the best of a situation that I didn't cause, nor do I have the tools to solve? It's fucking ridiculous. I swear to God. I just these people, these guys, these men, this fantasy where I'm awesome and because a podcast said this, I'm like, dude, like, do you go out? Like, I have dated, or I mostly date women under 26, right? And none of those women are like begging for they're just like, they just want to have fun. Really, it's really and truly women that age, they just want to have fun. There's really nothing wrong with that either. But understand, I know it's not fair. Sometimes girls will be, will kind of tease you, be like, hey, like, we'll want to do relationship stuff with you, right? But at the end of the day, you guys think if you were a 23-year-old girl, 24, 25-year-old girl, right? We as men cannot fathom the amount of abundance and free stuff they get just for existing. And do you think they're going to throw that away for just a regular guy? Now, are there women that say, "Hey, no, the streets is not for me," or "Hey, I really want a boyfriend," because, of course there is, and those tend to be, and that is why we as men become better, because if that opportunity comes up with a hot 24-year-old girl that is relationship minded, comes around, and you want to be in a relationship as well, you'll have the lifestyle, the muscles, the money, the game, the everything you need for her to be like, streets are fun, but I'd rather enjoy the streets with this guy, right? And that's the point of this, right? It's not to go out, it's not to be the super egotistical guy and stomp around and say, I am awesome, so every woman I fuck wants to be with me. No, it's definitely not. It's so, hey, ladies, I get it. You're a peak. You want to go twerk. You want to box me in that salsa night and twerk on me and give me kisses on the cheek and have a good time. I get it. But if any of you ladies wants to get down and wants to try to lock me down, check it out. Check out my life. Looks pretty good, huh? What do you think? Huh? No? Okay. What about your sister? Like that's the kind of attitude you have to have, right? Just relax. Like, you cannot control women. You cannot stop. You got to stop thinking that they're so desperate to get in relationships, because their hyper abundance precludes any need to get in a relationship until 28, 29, when the fertility starts knocking at the door. And I guys, I know that feels like we're taking away a large part of our power in the sexual marketplace, right? But the truth is, um, it's not about uh pretending you have power or not pretending, right? It is being real with yourself, being real with what's around you, and from there building an identity that's positive, right? So if in your mind you're constantly saying, "Hey, I have this power in the marketplace," meaning any girl that sleeps with me, I could turn her down for a relationship, right? And you've been sleeping with women and hot women. It doesn't matter, fat women, skinny women, hot women, mid women, tortas, whatever you're into, right? And you notice like, hey, none of these girls want to settle down. Guess what's going to happen to your? I don't think self esteem is a real thing, but guess what's going to happen to your self worth as a man? You're going to start thinking, man, and I know it's crazy. You're going to start thinking, man, maybe I'm not as good at women or life as I thought. None of these women want to share my life with me. They just want to come over, eat my food, drink a bottle of wine, and leave, and fuck the shit out of me. And that's messes with a lot of guys. We lost a guy called Fred, which I think was Cappy's actuary, because he couldn't fathom the fact that women didn't want to settle down. Hot women that he was getting in his peak, didn't want to settle down. So so we don't want that to happen to people. I don't want that to happen to me or anyone, right? So you got to be realistic. Think the first part of that is like you got to forgive yourself. You got to say, hey, you know, I did what I was supposed to in life. I'm going in the direction I want to in life. And when it comes down to it, if a hot 23-year-old wants to have sex and not be in a relationship, so be it, right? You ain't shit, and that's okay. Trust me, every time I get into a relationship with a woman, like serious, they're like, how the fuck did you stay single so long? And they think I'm just like out here, just like constantly telling women no. Like, no, I don't want to be in a relationship. Absolutely not. That's what everyone thinks. All these like broken Twitter women, that's all they think. Like, oh, you're out there, breaking women's hearts and turning them down for relationships. Like, yeah, like twice in my whole life have I told a woman or that was truly into me, hey, I don't want to be in a relationship right now. Like, and they took it, very, very rare, but they took it hard. They did not enjoy me saying that. But for the most part, they ask you like day one, hey, I just got a relationship. Like we're chilling, right? We're not anything. I'm like, yeah, it's fine. But they're toying around with me because I decide to have sex and know my role. Sure. All right, so let's look at some of these comments. So yeah, acceptance, bring an immense amount of peace. Yeah, we got either the listed role sounds great. And here's the thing. Here's what I want to highlight with this: more time for video games and gym. Right? Uh, Guys are quick to throw away one of the best parts about being a man. It's like your ability to be self-amused and spend time alone and with yourself, and have being able to spend a whole day by yourself without feeling like you're missing out. And that's something that a lot of guys kind of take for granted in their own biology. So when I say this, that hey, if you're the Friday 1 a.m. guy, that means Saturday morning she's packing up to leave. Right? That means the rest of your Saturday is yours. And if you're the Tuesday guy, the Tuesday after her yoga class guy, then guess what? Now she'll be over Tuesday. Sometimes she'll leave early on Tuesday night. So Wednesday you wake up, no girl in your bed, you're well fucked, you feel great, she feels great, and you move on, right? What is bad about that? It's only bad if you really prioritize a relationship as a goal in your life, right? It should never be a goal. It should just be an eventuality. Like, if you're a competent person, you will eventually get in a relationship, right? That's competent people get married. That's competent, happy people get married, not the other way around. You don't become competent and happy because you're married. It's the other way around. The tried cons will have you think the other, right? So yeah, let's check some of these comments. All right. Hit up Rob. He has the same soundboard. Yeah, I gotta talk to Rob. Down. Okay. Women give out sex for nothing but a coffee. Yeah, even less. Yeah. Nuke actually put it well when he phrased they just want to play house in modern day. The naivety to believe much more is foolish. Yeah, we're gonna get into that. Very good point. Exactly. She has to at least want to bang you. Like these guys just like, I control access to relationships, bro. Relationships with who? With your dog? With your mom? That's like going to a stranger on the street and being like, hey, I don't want to be your friend, bro. I don't trust you. He's gonna be like, what the fuck? Like, who are you? It's the same exact thing, right? Like, imagine you meet a guy at a bar, you guys become friends, and then the next day you text him, hey, dude, I know you want to be my friend, but let's be acquaintances instead. He'll be like, what the fuck, this fucking weirdo? What's wrong with him? And the truth is, like, that's exactly what it is to women, right? Like a lot of guys don't understand. Like they see sex as something so sacred and something either super difficult and a mythical thing or sacred, and realize it's not sacred to women, right? It is not. Sex will never be sacred to women. It is a tool for them, right? It is a tool. The mental model of indicative interest has been also been destroyed for me. 70% of IOI were still girls with a boyfriend or just enjoying my attention, still being attracted. Yeah, I would say it, man. This is something that is frustrating, right? Because as the dating as dating becomes more initiated by online activities, whether it be through Instagram, dating apps, or any other adjacent apps, even LinkedIn or Twitter, right? IOIs in real life are going to become more and more diluted and more mean nothing, right? And the reason I say that is that just like how when you get a match on Tinder and you're excited as a guy, but the girl is just like, "Oh, I got a match now. I get to flirt with this hot guy and feel good about myself." The same thing applies in real life, right? If you approach a woman or if she approaches you, right, and she's like showing a heavy indicators of interest, right? Take that with a grain of salt. Take that as approach, and that's it. You may be the type of guy that she just wants their attention just to feel good and to compete and to show her friends how awesome she is. But I would say, as I've dated, the thing that has kind of become foggy and just not a good, like, watered down, I don't know if the right word is, indicators of interest. Um, I've noticed over time that I'll go out and a girl will be like, "Hey, you look like this." Like she'll walk over across the bar to me and be like, "Hey, you look like this celebrity." I'm like, "Oh, well, thank you." And then 5, 10 minutes later, I go ask her to dance. Or I say right there, like, "Hey, you want to get a shot or you want to dance?" They're like, "No, not right now." You see how that can be kind of confusing, right? Sometimes women just want attention because their sexual needs, their relationship needs, whether it be casual or whatever, are taken care of so quickly these days, right? You don't. That's why I say you don't have time, right? Indicator interest, just take it as approach me, but don't expect anything. Especially now as indicators of interest in real life become less and less, right? Women are really good. Women prefer men's attention more than they do sex, almost, it feels like. So look at it as it's like another example is when girls like your story on Instagram, right? For the inexperienced guy, oh, she's so into me. She wants me to talk to her. But a lot of times, she just wants you to. She wants to know that she still has you, that she can get you, right? The female ego, you know. So, uh, it's a topic for another day. But yeah, IOIs. That's what I've noticed. If you guys care to weigh in, that's what I've noticed. But yeah. Isn't that why it's beneficial to have a mindset of having a relationship find you rather than the other way around? Yeah, exactly. Because it's exhausting, right? And I get it. Like, I have been in situations where I met women that I'm just like, yep, this is it. If she says yes to a relationship, I'm off the market. I'm done. Right? She's pretty awesome. She's 23. She's thin, cute, fun to be around, and all that. But you got to understand that if women wanted to be in relationships, they would. It's so easy, guys. Even guys that get laid a lot, right? Bar celebrities or guys that are in very specific moments in their life, like exiting a breakup or moving to a new city for the first time or leaving the military, like, like me, where I just wanted to have fun. Most men, if they see a girl that tries hard enough, they will start considering a relationship in their mind. Like, oh, if this girl plays her cards right, like things are going well, right? Because simply life is tough. Talking to multiple women really wears you out from time to time as a guy, and having that comfort of a good girl kind of give a shit about you is not a bad thing. It feels nice. No matter who you are, you will enjoy somebody giving a shit about you and putting an effort in your life, right? And also, if they're hot, it makes it even better, right? But you have to let the relationship find you, right? That doesn't mean like uh fight it off at every opportunity, right? Um, it just means that like it's a natural organic process, that woman that wants to be with you, she will want to be with you. She will show you. She will try, right? And this can get incredibly confusing because if you're the boyfriend guy, women playing house. If you're the boyfriend, if you're the Tuesday be my boyfriend on Tuesdays guy, where you do cutesy activities, like a pumpkin patch or something like that, or go to a state fair together, right? And all you're doing is, hey, you're just bumping uglies after that, right? That to a guy that's inexperienced, that can mess with you, right? That can make you feel like it could affect your self worth because you're just like, wait, what am I? Just like a relationship guy? What am I? I don't know. Like you won't know. And while she's laughing on a date with another guy, right? And you have to understand that you don't have control over that. The only thing you have control over is walking away. If you feel uncomfortable in a situation, you're not getting what you want, then just walk away. But a lot of guys don't have the balls to do that. So instead they complain and they wait it out. Oh, she's going to like me. She's going to settle down. I'm like, dude, like she isn't even texting the day after you guys sleep with each other. You are the Tuesday guy. Just accept it. It's easy sex, man. It is what it is. In all honesty, would you want the relationship with most of these women? Yeah, that's another thing. Like you may find yourself like, I finally found a girl that I want a relationship with, and then you yourself feel boxed in. You're just like, wait, it's never what I wanted. What I wanted was sex and like a girl to do one or two things a week with, and that's it. You didn't really want a full on taking the whole thing of a woman, right? Or maybe that's what you wanted. But most women, like like what ends up happening, guys, is that take me for instance, like I grew up, my mom taught me how to take care of myself, right? How to do my laundry, how to clean up, how to cook for myself a little bit. And then I went through college and I asked my female friends in college how to cook some certain stuff. And then you have YouTube. And so I pretty much learned how to take care of myself. And then I learned hygiene, how to dress. Like I did everything, right? Learned everything myself. And my mom would iron my dad's clothes, he would cook for him, he would take care of anything he couldn't take care of, right? But I, due to technology now, and also just it being a different landscape out of necessity, do everything myself. And then you have a girl come into your life and you're like, okay, this is nice. And you're like, uh, well, what do I get out of this? Like what do I get out of this? And that's a tough question to ask yourself sometimes because you're just like, hey, if um I'm able to take care of myself. If I'm getting sex from other women and I have my weekends free, I already have plans, I have friends, I have whatever I'm doing. What does a woman bring beyond that? And that's where we're at right now, right? I don't think women are competing against other women to get locked down, right? They're competing against your free time, your peace, your quiet, your bank account, right? Because a girl comes into your life and she's like, spend money on me, have sex with me, but don't have sex with me when I don't want, and don't see any other women, blah blah blah, right? And that's a hard sell for guys that like peace and are already taking have their reproductive problem taken care of. That's a hard sell, right? And girls will never see that. They just like, what do you mean you don't want to be in a relationship? I'm like, yeah. Look at my bank account. I don't. You're not like. It's nice to have someone not fill up my weekends or my calendar with random activity like weddings and um, brunch and meeting up with their family. Like, no, I that's anyway. Sorry, my internet. I don't know. It's like always like 30 minutes in it starts doing that. But yeah, women want sex more, bro. The idea that women control sex and men control relationships is a self-comforting lie propagated by guys on the self-improvement path that once they hit the finish line, it'll be easy for them. Exactly. Yeah, I was gonna get to that, but you already cut through. Um, you already cut through to the point here. And guys, that is the point here, right? The point is that it's an ego fantasy to think that you get to decide what your role is in a woman's life. Now, if you find out, hey, you're the Tuesday guy, you don't want that, sure, right? But I'll tell you right now, like there's like a hot 24-year-old that's banging me once a week for just the whopping cost of coming over and eating maybe a little bit of my food or a little bit of wine and watching anime together. Hell yeah, I don't see that as a negative, right? It's only a negative if you see you see women as only relationship opportunities when in reality it's like, hey dude, like understand women don't want to be in relationships for the most part. If they wanted to, they would. Marriage rate is lowest in recorded history, 6 per 1,000. All the marriage industries are crashing, right? Hell, even dating apps are going down the drain. And looking at women's hyperabundance right now, right? You see like, hey, you guys have so many options for dating and meeting men. I understand that most of those options suck, right? But we do this thing in like online on the internet where we like to think in extremes and use hyperbole. Like the way we talk about this shit is just like, yeah, you either got the guy that's like the athlete, like the star hockey player and on the Dallas Stars, or Glocktavius that lives in the hood. Those are women's options. I'm like, no, absolutely not. You think you're the only regular high performing guy in her orbit or in her city? No. It's like the blue chick that doesn't even have time, or she's just not attracted to, or the guy, like most of these celebrities that that guys are like, oh, he's gonna take my girl. They have no game. They just what they do is they DM the girl and be like, hey, are you from here? No, okay, next. Or hey, are you from here? And then they start saying, hey, you wanna come to my whatever. That's it. That's the amount of game they use, right? They don't have time to be game, and most women aren't into that, right? Only the women in like that are um specifically groupies of that are into it, right? So, um, yeah. Uh, Below that is maybe the guy who made partner a law firm, right? Business owners. And below that, it's guys that like, I don't know, socioeconomic status, maybe a guy that's an engineer or a doctor, or a guy, right? But the thing is, it's not this kind of like one or binary or the other where men are just separated into two things, right? There is a kind of like cascading hierarchy of like socioeconomic status men that she searches for. So this binary shit where like, girls, that's their options. They're out of options because they either the high status, what was it, high value man don't want them, and the Octavians just want them for sex. Blah blah blah. I'm like, that is something women are like love. They love when guys on the red pill or intersexual or manosphere talk like that, right? Because it gives them an out. It gives them an excuse. Stop giving women excuses. Call it like it is, not so you can hold them accountable, so you yourself can forgive yourself and be like, no, she does not want to be, she would rather blow me and not go meet my mom with me and be a good girl and give up all the shit, all the street activities because she doesn't want to, not because I'm not good enough. You see how that mental model is more useful than just being like, well, there's just not enough good men. Like, no, there is plenty of good men. And I'm not talking about like the beta dorks. Like, most guys have some level of social skills, right? Obviously, most guys are fat, right? But so is most girls. So I get that. But for the most part, stop purporting this lie that there is no good men left and that, uh because that forces yourself to put yourself in one of these categories. Am I the blue check high value man, or am I the loser? I'm like, no, no, you are you. If she doesn't want to be in a relationship, it's because if she isn't in a relationship, it's because she doesn't want to, flat out, period. It's not because she's forced to be single. Women want to be single. If they are under 27, they want to be single. Women that are 23, why would they give up everything, this lifestyle, um, for you? And when I say you, I don't mean like you, like because you're pathetic. I mean you because you have standards. Like, hey, you can't go to Miami if you're with me. Like, I don't. It's pretty easy, right? Not that you have to enforce it or should, right? That should be automatically, right? But that is what women are giving up. Um, I tell the story of the girl who, took care of my dog for a couple days and turned him into me with bloody paws, all that stuff, and then just didn't ever text me again, never checked on him or anything like that, right? Um, but the reason she came back, guys, into my life, we rematched on Hinge or whatever, right, was because she did how women reconcile, the reconciliation women do, right? Women have this choice, right? Okay, I met this bad boy, he's good in bed, whatever. He's not Octavius, but he's also has enough money to take me to get a $70 bottle of wine once a week or $30 bottle of wine once a week. And he gives me the good D. So I'll stick with this guy for a while. Um, and then she's like, okay, well, I found a guy. I found a guy that I like. A guy that he's trying. He gives me flowers, or remembered all my friends' names. He wants to meet my mom. That kind of guy, right? And they get into a relationship. What women do is they continue to market even after they've gotten into a relationship, right? Because they still are not sure if they want to be in a relationship. I'm going to say that again. Women get placeholder boyfriends because they are still not sure if they want to be in a relationship. They enjoy the comfort, they enjoy a guy doing shit for them, taking care of them, right? But they don't want that door to close. So the reason she left her current boyfriend and found me again was because he didn't like her going out to the club. He was like, no. So, hey, what's up, Viking Paradigm? So she found herself back in my life, right? Prior to that, one day we were casual, right? I had asked her very early on in the relationship, like a month, 2 months in, like, hey, you like what we have or you want more? She's like, no, I like what we have. A couple months down the line, I'm going through my Hinge, and I find her. I'm like, oh shit. And this is where I learned this lesson, guys. I find her. I'm just like, what the heck? I slept with this chick last week. Like, where's she on? Why is she looking for other guys? I thought I was her main guy, Like, what the heck? And two of the pictures that she used for her profile were pictures I took of her. Now, these are my options. Chimp out, text her, what the hell is this? Even though we were nothing and we made it clear in the beginning. Seething, or option two, seething, get mad and ball it all in and decided to ghost her. Or option number three, realize like, hey, what was my role here? What was I supposed to be here? Think, Nuke. What was I supposed to be here? And I realized I know my role. This was my role. This whole time I was lying to myself, thinking I was some kind of super alpha guy that she was, so enamored with, even though I never met her family. She never wanted me around her friends or anything like that, right? So I said to myself, hey, this may end any minute, right? She's actively searching for my replacement. That's where I went wrong again, because we kept hooking up till like for 3 or 4 months later, until it was the holidays and we finally, February, right? That was like August when I found that. We stopped talking in February of 2023, right? I was like, wait, how come she didn't replace me? It's because it's not about replacing. It's about your role. Your role as a guy in a woman's life, you have to play it if you want to get sex from that particular woman, right? Women get to decide how this goes. And if you're not cool with that, you like Patrice O'Neill says, you can take your ball and go. But let's be intelligent here, right? Sex isn't easy to come by. Casual, easy, fun sex is not ready to come by. A woman that's consistently having sex with you with no strings attached for long periods of time is also very difficult to come by, right? And even if you have the skills to get that, um, there are going to be times where you just don't want to go out and meet women. There's going to be times where you're busy. There's going to be times where like, hey, I just need someone to take care of my needs and maybe spend a little time and have that a little bit of feminine energy in my life, to kind of distract me from the world. And that's exactly what I did. I played my role in it, and from that moment on, she even liked me more after that, right? Because it's kind of like she's like, "Are you cool with what I gave you?" And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna take it. Door was open for me. Door was open for her. Obviously, you use protection, because you don't know what she's doing. Obviously, you have to have boundaries, right? Casual relationships are some of the most difficult relationships to maintain because the boundaries are so weird, right? Like, women are women. They're going to be calling you in the middle of the night crying because something happened in their life or something. They're going to have car trouble and want you to help them with their car or something. They're going to want you to mount TVs, right? Unless you have an incredible emotional discipline and you are at a level where you can detach, then just make sure to spend as little time as possible with her outside of sex, because there are men that get attached to women, right? And you have to be careful. You don't want to get attached to someone that isn't attached to you. Doesn't make sense, right? So once I learned my role, it became more fun. I became more relaxed. I stopped looking at her as like a future girlfriend. I just said, hey, she just wants to have fun. She doesn't care about my problems. She doesn't care about my dreams, my thoughts. She wants to have sex and go on a life. And if you guys don't believe me, women have names for us in their phones, in their group chats for certain type of men, right? I think for her, I was the Dominican. I'm gonna go see my Dominican today, right? Like an appointment, right? And you see these terms and these vernacular popularized on like female social media and all that stuff, like the dick appointment. Where do you think that the dick appointment term, although it's funny, came from? Right? It's because women are assigning roles to men. And you have to be understanding of this, or else you're just going to keep being mad and resentful, right? And the thing is, it's not your problem either. You have the world to attend to. You have your job, you have your goals, your hobbies, your family, your friends, your problems, leisure time, right? If all she wants is that, there's nothing else you can do except walk away and be like, I'm not down for that. I want something more. And that's absolutely fine. Like, that's knowing yourself and what you want as a man is better than not, right? So if you are spinning plates to eventually find a girl, right? Understand that those plates are going to fall off faster, right? Because when women get the feeling that you are trying to lock them down, even a little bit, right? It's like a butterfly. Like, the more you chase it, the more it's going to run away. Or like my dog Tadashi, the more you chase it, the more it's going to run away. Instead, whenever I sit down on the couch, Tadashi peeks around, jumps on the couch, and looks at me. And I was like, "What do you want?" And he just looks at me like, "Hey, what's up?" I'm like, "What's up, Tadashi? You want some belly rubs or something?" Whereas if I chase him, he's running around, he's running away from me all over the park. He's like, "Nope." And that's how it is. That's how it is with this, right? It's okay to want a relationship as a guy. It's okay if, like, that's what you want. Absolutely nothing wrong with that, right? However, you cannot frame your process of getting that with I want to. You cannot get yeah. You cannot frame it like, hey, I want a relationship. You cannot put that out there as explicitly, right? You cannot put the cart before the horse. You have to be exciting, fun, and all that, and lead with that. First dates are not for planning your future. Second dates are not for planning your future, right? After she's the planning of the future comes when she sits down with you and is just like, hey, what are we? That's when you start planning the future. Outside of that, it's not your fault. Sorry, not your problem, right? All right, let's men saying we control relationships is just coping for having 0 points up on the collective scoreboard. Women have scored all the points. That's why we abandon the scoreboard and build value. Yeah, like this dating stuff isn't like it isn't to win against women. It isn't to hold up her hand. It isn't to shoot a rap video later and say, "Hey, I got all these hoes and bitches," right? Like, you don't want that, right? The point of dating is for fun. For fun. Women get to dictate, "Hey, I don't want to do this anymore. I want something serious." Well, I don't. I'm sorry, right? Um, For a guy in education and with no income, if women wait at the finish line, how does that work? Sell your future fusion words are cheap for most girls. I'm trying to understand your question. For a guy in education with no income, if women wait at the finish line, how does that work? Sell your future vision words are cheap from. Like, are you saying like, hey, I'm actually going to med school for a doctor. I'm actually in, finishing up college to be an engineer. Blah blah blah. It's tough for me to answer this question, right? Because I came of age before dating apps and when Facebook was barely taking off, right? And I can tell you that I've had there's like a boomerang effect in my life for a lot of millennials, right? We're in college before dating apps. There was girls were pretty and they were very available. They were everywhere. Whereas um, then Tinder, social media, Instagram popped off, and then they all disappeared. Like, women were just gone. They were harder to get their attention for long periods of time. You're like, what happened? Like, did I become ugly? I thought I was I'm making 10 times more money than I was 18. Whatever, right? And then you turn 30. You're in your 30s, and then the hot women slowly and painfully start coming back into your life again, right? Um, the best thing you can do, right, is continue out there talking to them, right? Women are gonna like run for the hills because you're not a 35-year-old like six-figure earning guy, right? They're not gonna be like, oh, right. For guys like you that are younger, it's all about where you are, logistics, right? Young guys have the ultimate um advantage of logistics in terms of like maybe they're in college, maybe they are around other girls their age, right? It's that once you leave college until you're like in your 30s, that's like that really long, tough dating thing because there's just no abundance, there's no girls around you, right? Um, so just keep doing the things you do, control the birth, right? Don't get a girl you don't want pregnant. Keep grinding. Realize that things have changed. Forgive yourself. It's not your fault that girls your age don't want you as much as girls or don't want you. They prefer guys my age. I get it. But that is not an excuse not to try, right? Think of it like this: just every girl is practice, right? Whether she rejects you, whether she bangs you, whether she wants to be in a relationship, you be your girlfriend, right? All girls are practice. And you know, that sounds kind of like messed up to say, but when I say practice, I mean you're learning an invaluable skill, which is social calibration with people and with women. And so that way, when you get to your 30s, you have at least a couple girls under your belt, at least a couple good or bad situations with women that you've learned from, and a couple notes to trade with guys. And then you're set up for when you're 30s to accept the incoming women, right? Because if you're a dork at 20 and you do no work and you just grind, grind, grind all day, and you get to 26 and you're still like you don't all you did was trade Bitcoin, and then you get to 31 and you're that weird Bitcoin guy, and the guy that makes half as much as you who socialized get it in his 20s, right? You want to balance. You don't want to be completely loser socialized all the time, and you don't want to be the weird guy that trades Bitcoin and that's all he does, right? You want a guy that balances between both, right? Like, hey, I worked really hard for a couple months. Let me go party for a couple, like 1 or 2 weeks, and hang out and go on a vacation. All right, it's back to work, blah, 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 and do this and do that, right? Oh, I have a girlfriend now. I'm going to chill. Oh, she broke up with me, back to the streets to have fun. Like, that's normal and healthy, right? It's more difficult to do at the same time in tandem. It takes a lot of discipline to do that. But like you're gonna find periods in your life where work's easy, life's kind of going chill. There's not much to worry about. Go out. Hey, go learn a sexy hobby. Go learn how to play guitar. Go learn how to dance. Go out to the bars. Go out with your friends. Right. Do a little bit of debauchery. Don't go to jail. Obviously, don't do anything stupid. And don't get a girl pregnant. Right. And hey, work's getting tough again, or hey, I got this project, or hey, I want to focus on the gym now. I got a little fat. I'm losing my standards. Let me go back to the gym, and then you bounce back to that, right? And that's the healthy kind of like back and forth. You'll never find this perfect balance of partying and grinding. It's always going to be like pulling you in one direction, right? And that's life. Life isn't about perfection. It's about doing the best you can with what you got, right? I have a vision, but I have no income. How will I portray value of the future when women value the economic status today? Dude, stop with the neuroticism. Just talk to women. There you go. Don't worry about, just talk to women. That's it. The number one thing right now is talk to women. Stop worrying about red pill maxims in real life. Go out there, talk to women, hit on women, have good conversations, invite them back to your place. Yes or no? No? Okay, have a nice day. And get hurt, get rejected, feel that pain of rejection, and move on. The most amount of chicks I got was when I was making 75K in 2021. That was the most amount of chicks. And then after that, it kind of went a little, it kind of started tapering off, or going, it like linearly went down, right? Even the subtle hint that you correlate your money to your media value, there's exactly like lead with fun. Lead with like, hey, I'm having a good time, right? You in your mind, if you keep thinking that your money is what gives you value, right? She's gonna sense that. She's gonna sense that. But anyways, let's take a quick break, and we'll continue.
見せて俺たちを安心させてくれんかい。
All right, and we're back. Love that video. What's your plan? All right, women don't care at all about financial success. I'm a hexamillionaire, but got fat in the process. Did way better being broke and hot. They just want sexy dudes with game, then funnels and tell tears. Yep, that's all it is. That's why I always lead with game, charm, and then let her discover how awesome you are from there. I know it's easier said than done, right? But yes. All right, let's go back to this thread. See these responses. Make sure nothing is open. Okay. All right. So all right. So oh wait, this is too small. All right, so we have Joanne Schultz. I think you're in the chats too. Joanne Schultz says, "Once I learned to set those mental cinder blocks down, things became a lot easier." Right, because the platitude that hey, you get to set the role in the relationship is something that is a mental weight on you, right? Because every time you sleep with a chick and she doesn't want anything to do with you besides sex, it's just like, oh, like no, she's just a hoe, and she's like the most normal chick ever. She's just a chick with a normal job and everything, and she just wanted a hot guy to have sex with because life's hard and she doesn't want a relationship right now. So you want to let go of that mental weight. Most of the time when guys come to me and say, "Hey, that thing you said really gave me peace," I'm like, "Yeah, that's the point." Because what these people do is they put this weight on you, this neuroticism that you don't deserve, and transfer it to you, and are like, "You're worried about this. Be worried." I'm like, no, like a relationship is her problem. Nothing to do with me. She gets to decide. I don't get to decide shit. It's her body, her choice, right? Nafi, the charming misogynist, Jesus Christ. It's a very complicated situation when you think about it. But men can be dissatisfied about their own relationship or how they're even treated due to their position in a relationship or while they're just dating. Everyone has a different situation they got to handle. And then walk away. See, this neuroticism, there's no need to discuss this. It's just like if a girl is giving you the Tuesday blowjob, but you want the Thursday or you want the Sunday brunch with her girls at 10 a.m., then let her go. I personally love being the Tuesday blowjob guy. Don't clip that, guys. Don't clip that. That sounded weird. But yeah, it's not a big deal. Like I don't understand. Like I think it's just men raised to be defective women thinking that relationships are some kind of fulfilling thing. It literally nothing changes in your life except you're not out dating other girls in a relationship. You don't wake up every day and euphoric like, I'm in a relationship. You don't like have a life changing kind of uh eureka moment when a girl first dates you. No, it's just like it's just a girlfriend, and then you move on. Like you still have to go to work, you still have your problems. You just have someone to have sex with more often. And you're spending more money, that's for sure. But yeah, all right, let's move on. The signed role is to follow your own path. That's it. Standing is only an issue with your veer off. I don't even know what he's trying to say, but yeah, of course. I don't know what kind of Secret King shit that was, but okay. Take no thought. Let's see. All right. This cuts both ways, right? Tons of women are right at the second crying to their friends because they want to be the GF when in reality they will always just want to be a member of the squad. Yeah, well, think about it, guys. Biologically speaking, women were designed to share men, right? Because men were very rare and scarce. We died so much back in the day. We even to this day, like there's countries where, like, I met a girl from Kyrgyzstan the other day. There's more women than there are men in that country, especially after big wars. The men left over get treated like kings because there's just less of them, right? Or be the level guy who assigns her a role and not looking to conform to any role she assigns. How pathetic just for occasional access to a wet hole. Again, here we go. Like, hey, I'm the man. I assign her a role. I'm like, really, dude? You're so awesome that girls come into your life and you're just like, you're the Tuesday bitch, you're the Wednesday bitch, you're the Thursday bitch, you're the Friday bitch. And even if you could do that, which some men do, it takes an incredible amount of energy and effort to be the guy that do like I'm like, hey, ladies, you take care of it. You let me know what you want. I'll approve it on my have it on my desk by Monday. I'll approve it and then I'll do what you need as long as I'm not sacrificing my dignity or excess money and time. And they come to my desk and they're like, Nuke, all right. And I'm like, okay, what's this? They're like, okay, well, my request my role that I have for you is I want you on Tuesdays to I want to come over, make you something to eat, watch anime with you, and fuck you. I'm like, okay, it looks like that will be like about 3 hours, 3, 4 hours. And you want to stay the night? Yeah, I would like to stay the night, but I gotta leave early because I have work at 9 a.m. All right, all right, all right, all right, okay. Um, and can I bring my dog too? Because I don't like leaving him alone. Oh, okay, yeah, I like Tadashi gets along well with your dog. Approved, approved. All right, cool. Next woman in line. Hey, I'm kind of erratic and I'm going through a very depressive episode of my life, but I need some good D. Uh, I would like to see every 10 days, and however, I would like to get taken out a little bit. Like even I'll even pay if you want, but I just want to go on a date first before you put it in my bum. Okay, okay. 10 days sounds good. You drive a hard bargain, but I will take that role. Okay, thank you. Sweet. All right, girl number 3, come in. I'm fat and I want a relationship, but I give good blowjobs. I just don't. I can't step up for that. Sorry, there's nothing I can do for you. Okay, bye. And you see how it is, guys. That's it. That's it. I know it sounds super mechanical and funny, but right, but that's basically how it goes down. It's not the other way around, guys. Unless you have extreme status, unless you're like, super famous or extreme status or whatever, or it's much easier to let girls figure out what they want from you instead of you going out of your way to like assign them days and have your calendar, right? Your calendar should be full of shit. You got like meetings, uh consults if you do content or whatever you do in life. Your calendar should be full of that. Their calendars, the ones filled with men and what they're going to do with them and all that stuff. That's not your problem. You got better things to worry about. So why don't we outsource our logistics for sex to them? Is that so hard, guys? Like, am I crazy? Right? Why do I need to do this amount of work to organize and mix and match women when they could be the ones to decide that? Why do I have to do that? Why do you want to do that? Why can't you just have a person come up to you and say, "Hey, you passed the first level round, you made me orgasm. Um, you're my Tuesday guy. What do you think? Hey, you know what? I like my free time and I like my hobbies and I like having the apartment to myself. Let's do it. Let's do it." Or like, "Hey, no, I'm just not for it." And that's it, guys. I don't know. I don't understand why men get up in a tizzy thinking like you feel like a gigolo or a degenerate because a girl is just like she's doing that anyway. Like this isn't like an opinion thing. This isn't a perspective thing. This is what is. Women have agency. Women are autonomous. They're not dumb. Like, yes, they can be a little goofy sometimes, but women can think. Women have reasons to do things. There's reasons they do things. All right. Let's see. Any other goofy comments here? My white pill. Okay, this guy took it well. If if I'm being given a role instead of her trying to qualify herself to me as a wife, then there will be no relationship ever. What does that mean? What do you mean no relationship ever? I don't get it. You see what I'm saying? Like qualify to what? All right, moving on. Why do you let women push you around like this? He enjoys submitting to women to fuck them and go on the internet and flaunt about like a female. Yeah, these guys did not take it. And then Luffy pushed around where? Putting pussy on a pedestal. No, see that's the other thing. Like, oh, you're putting women on a pedestal because I'm like, no, it's actually the opposite. This is depedestalizing women, right? Guys that think that every woman that sleeps with them is they have to like assign her a role and like train her up to be this awesome future wife before they even like bring it up. Like, no, absolutely not. All right. All right. All right. All right. See anything? This guy said can't really grasp the concept of relationship or problem, right? Boy. Who doesn't want to be the 1 a.m. Friday call? You're likely another girl's 1 a.m. Saturday call for the rest free for the rest of the week. Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. Like the amount of time you save, you get to have all these women, right? And then whenever you're bored of them, or you yourself get a girlfriend, you can drop them. You're like, hey, ladies, sorry, got a girl, fell for this chick. Her role for me was boyfriend, and I took it. So yeah. And this guy's like, "How about you leave if you don't like your role?" Yeah, of course. You're also a human being with you can make decisions. You can be like, "Hey, I don't," and I almost left a couple, but then I thought like, "Hey, what do I have to lose here?" You know. So they get one of these, right? If you are a guy that never wants to fuck but still wants around for comfort, then that's what you are. But that is up for men to not accept. Yeah, again, you also have the choice not to accept it, right? You just don't get to decide what another human being does in response to you know what I'm saying? Like it's like women. I think they think that women are some kind of infallible creatures that all of them are pure and they all want relationships, and if they don't, they're broken. I'm like, no, no. You just don't know women, bro. You have no experience. And this guy, she assigns me a role first, and it's my turn to do the assigning. Assigning what, bro? All she wants is to assign her your penis inside of her, and you for you to shut the fuck up. Just play your role. Like women are giving away sex for nearly for free, and guys still complain. Like guys are never gonna be happy, dude. There's people dying face down in Ukraine at war or in Russia right now. And you're complaining that women just want to give you a blowjob and leave your apartment and send you cute memes or something like that. That's your complaint. These guys will never be happy no matter what. They just will be always be sad. This guy's, I love being a pretend boyfriend. I was 4 girls pretend BF once and it was very liberating. Yeah. Why would I seriously date a woman with constant rotating roster of other men? Well, then don't. The thing is, like, you don't know what she does when she leaves. Even if she is falling for you, you have no idea what she's doing out there, right? That's why we say assume all women are promiscuous. Don't obsess, right? And so you can get over this like negative pedestalization of women or positive, right? Both are pedestalizing women and think, hey, yeah, women have sex. Get over it. Move on. You can't control them. And if you wanted to, what would be your plan to control women? Give them a tax break for not fucking? How would you even enforce that? They give away sex for a bag of Skittles. I wish to be that guy. Yeah. They sound like they like agency in their life. Yeah, that's basically exactly what they sound like. You can still venture in a woman even if she gives you a role. If both agendas align, there you go. Cart before the horse, right? If all she wants is to come over and have sex with you, what is there to train? She's not yours. What is there to train? Focus on training her sexually, right? Hey, I like when you wear green lingerie. Hey, let's try some whips. Hey, let's try some BDSM shit, whatever you guys are into, right? Yeah, casual women will do that. They like that. But like, hey, I don't like it when you do this. I don't like it when you do that. It gets to the point, guys, where women will assign you a role so well, right? That you may think in your mind, "Oh, I'm this hyper alpha cool guy, I always get laid." Um and women always want when I get laid, women always want a relationship with me because I'm just that awesome, right? The two girls I had the longest casual relationships with, right? Girl A, which is the one I told the story about earlier in the show, in the stream. Every time I try to up the alpha and be like, kind of be a little bit more toxic, there was visible distress in her face. Kind of like when a beta is trying to act alpha. That is the expression I got. I was confused. I'm like, I'm trying to be more toxic. Why is this girl not responding? I thought she was gonna be like, like banter with me or something. No, absolute like distress. Like she had just gotten some really bad news. And again, that was one of those points where I was learning. I was like, wait, this is fucking confusing. Because I treat her like my girlfriend once a week or once every 10 days or once every 2 weeks. She's cooking. She even cleans my kitchen sometimes. She gives me massages. Sex is incredible. Like it's actually like kind of scary how good it was. But every time I try to be alpha and banter a little bit, mess with her, she doesn't like it. Matter of fact, she gets scared almost. And that's when I knew. Oh, I'm the pretend boyfriend. Ah, I get it now. I don't have to like worry about I let the time apart deal with that. And a lot of guys are just like, oh, I have to be this alpha guy all the time. And I'm like, dude, the alpha for a lot of women in casual relationships, the alpha is just like for the first couple dates. So she knows you're not a complete loser, that you're attractive and all that stuff. But once if she's like throating your meat, hey, thanks. That's it. You don't, you like, play your role, guys. Play your role. Don't overextend yourself. Stop trying to prove yourself to women. You have already won. Let yourself win. Every time you get assigned a role by a girl and you try to overextend yourself, you're just stepping on your own dick at that point. Act accordingly. I know it sounds like I'm bending over to women's whims, right? But what is masculine, right? About trying to prove to women that I'm awesome, but in the way I think I'm awesome, instead of just being awesome and then them saying, "Hey, you're awesome. Can I see you once a week so I can enjoy your awesomeness? I don't want anything else, and you better not ask me for anything else. I just want to enjoy your awesomeness for 2 hours a week." Yeah, okay, sounds good to me. Oh, and if I want anything more, I will let you know. Sounds good. I got work, and I want to play this new Final Fantasy, and Tadashi needs a walk, and there's other girls too. So yeah, let's get this going. It's logistically genius, and guys are just still complaining about girls that only want to have sex with them and nothing else. Not their money, not their time, maybe a little bit of the time, not their effort. Just as a matter of fact, that's why it's so easy to be it's so easy to be nice with girls in casual relationships, right? Because they don't really shit test you that much either. And see again, that was the crazy part about long-term casual relationships. Violin girl, right? About her all the time. There were times where I acted kind of like an asshole. And she would cry on my lap, crying, tears. She's like, please be nice to me. And I thought in my mind, like, if I'm nice to her, she's gonna leave. She's gonna like run away to the hills because women don't like betas. But I looked around, and here's the point. Here's another important point, guys. Women are not stupid. They know who the fuck and what the fuck you are. So if Nuke, 6 foot tall Dominican guy, living in one of the nicest neighborhoods in Dallas, decent job, nice Instagram profile. Not the best, I'm working on it, but at that time, nice Instagram profile, plans a date in a sexy bar, comes up well dressed, smells good. Then I go to his apartment and I see it's like, I get bachelor vibes from his apartment. It's already done. She knows what I am. I don't have to keep yapping about how awesome I am and try to run game past a certain point. She knows already. She knows, she gets her excitement from the fact that you are awesome and you don't have to keep proving it to her. You can be a nice guy then. You can tone down the alpha and just enjoy your blowjobs and, be a nice guy to her, have her lay on your chest all night. Listen to her problems, right? Because, in 20 minutes, she's going to she's going to want to record herself having sex with you or something, being freaky. The other day, I'd say around October of last year, I met a Russian girl, a Moldovan girl, beautiful, one of the most beautiful women I've ever hooked up with. Right? She was friends with a friend from this apartment complex, so there's just kind of like oh, that's that guy that hit on me once or whatever, right? And her friend said, "Hey, you should take my friend out to dance." I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool, not a big deal." I didn't expect anything of it, and I danced, and then but she was so very receptive, and she had a very sexy like Eastern European voice, blonde hair, blonde curly hair, like just a beautiful girl overall, right? And um, I got her Instagram, and I'm like, yeah, she's very pretty. She's gonna get distracted. She's gonna move on, whatever. Don't think too much of it. And then I hit her up on Instagram, and she said, "Hey, I'm in the area. Can you go for a walk with me?" I'm just like, okay. So we go for a walk around my block. She shows up, right? And I'm like, this is some weird simp shit that I'm doing, but I needed to go for a walk. Tadashi needed a walk too, so it's no big deal. So I'm walking with her, go to her car, and I'm like, yeah, I didn't even. I think I went in for a kiss. I don't remember. But she stood there. She's like, "You're not gonna open the door for me?" And I was like, uh, in my mind, I'm like, this is weird. I'm not in my element. Like, I think maybe this is some weird cultural thing from Moldova or Ukraine or wherever region of the world she's from. So I opened the door, but I kind of like did it like, sarcastically, like, here you go, I guess. All right. She's like, thank you. I'm like, that was weird. I'll probably never see her again. I don't know what the fuck that was. So I went home. Um, we talk the next time she messaged me, says, "Hey, I'm coming from a Halloween party. Can I see you?" And every guy knows what that means. That means it's Bang City. Get ready. She shows up in a shimmering Barbie-like dress, and she looks, and she's like buzzed and ready to go. We take a couple pictures, have fun, and then we hook up. Hook up with one of the most beautiful girls I've ever hooked up with. Gorgeous, right? And I thought to myself, how did I go from like going on a walk and opening her door to this girl to getting the fuckboy privilege, right? Where she just shows up on a Friday or on a Thursday at 2 a.m. or 1 a.m. in my apartment. How did that happen? And the thing is, guys, she already knew about this lifestyle, who I was. She already knew that I was dancing with other women at salsa night. She already knew how I dressed. She already knew how I moved. She already knew how I handled situations, weird, awkward situations like opening the door, walking with her, and all that stuff. She got her alpha fix before I started blah blah blah. She's like, all right, this guy passes the test. I can show up at his house at 1 a.m. He's not gonna be weird. He's gonna grab my butt. He's gonna kiss me like a man, and he's gonna sweep me off my feet that night. I just needed him to open the door because I need that fantasy that I'm not a hoe. And that's important. And that's why a lot of guys, it takes nuance. This is why experience with women is so important, because to guys that are inexperienced, will be like, that's some simp shit that will get you, but deep down, it's just like, in my mind, in the moment, I was like, yeah, this is weird. I don't think I'm ever going to see this girl again. But hey, Tadashi had a good time. We had a good walk. I had a good walk. And sure, if she wanted to come along, sure. not a big deal. But then she showed up a week later in my apartment in a nice dress after a party, which is the best time to have the best way to have a girl is after her coming from the club or from the parties directly to your apartment. Best version of a girl ever. Unless she's super drunk, then you probably want to lay her down or something like that. And she'll probably throw up too. But she was like, mm. I didn't need to up the alpha. I didn't need to run game or tease or anything like that, right? I'm sure there's a cultural difference there too. All she needed for me was to confirm she didn't want to feel like a hoe for what she was about to do later. So she kind of asked me for like a token of, kind of like comfort, like, hey, opening the door for her, going for a walk. And then she's like, okay, cool. And that was my role, guys. I didn't overextend myself. I didn't overthink it. I didn't like overanalyze it. I didn't sit down and feel ashamed. I was like, oh yeah, that happened. And I moved on. I forgot about it like 2 days later. And I got to sleep with one of the most beautiful women that I've ever, a 5'10", 5'11" Moldovan girl with an accent, blonde hair, booty like a Latina. She brought me a whole bunch of Moldovan candies. They're sitting over there, right? But the thing is here, guys, is that knowing your role, getting over yourself as a man, will bring you these opportunities. I can't promise you that, right? But it's just you need to check your ego at the door when you date. You're going to look stupid. You're going to feel stupid sometimes. You're going to overextend yourself, right? But as time went on, guys, and I accepted my role and stopped trying to out alpha everything and try to be, a Roman statue account, but in real life, like some of these guys are, I simply like the more attractive women and women in my life stayed longer and the sex became better. Women will let you know what your role is. Not always explicitly. Hey, do you want to stay the night? No, I gotta go. There you go. She doesn't want to spend that much time with you. She just want to have sex and go, right? They will never say it like that, right? But they will give you signs that say, hey, like this is not what you think it is. I just want this. Some of them will struggle and they don't know what they want, right? For example, I went down to Austin once for work and I met a cute Filipino girl. And she gave me like I want relationship vibes. And then we hooked up. I think it was the first or second night while I was there. And a couple months later, like a month later, because I didn't go to Austin down that much, she would be like, hey, I kind of see that you're not here for you don't really want me like that, like in a relationship. So I gotta let you go. I'm like, okay, no big deal. She knew what she wanted, or so it seems. Then about 2 or 3 months later, she's sending me pictures in her panties. Like, oh, I've been thinking about you, blah, blah, blah. Maybe it was to get a little bit of attention or something like that. She got rejected by a guy or whatever. But women struggle with what they want, right? So play your role, guys. You'll get more. You'll like Joanne says, the mental weight of letting women worry about relationships and what they are to you and what you are to them. It's so heavy. You'll realize like I don't care anymore. Are you coming over this week? No? Okay, have a nice day. I'm freed up for the night. Everyone wants you to be as neurotic as they are about politics, about disease, about parenting, about love, relationships, right? When they see a person that truly has accepted even the most negative aspects of gaming, like that one guy's like, how do you achieve this level of detachment, right? That level of detachment and calm and peace about this whole thing is why they're mad at me and guys like you guys, because it takes a lot of inner work. It takes a lot of pain sometimes. It takes a lot of soul searching, for lack of a better term, to look within yourself and be like, I ain't shit. This is not my fault, nor is it mine to fix. I'm just gonna enjoy what's in front of me. Shit or get off the pot, right? Do you want to have sex? Do you want to enjoy some quality time together? No, moving on to the next. Because there are people that are neurotic about this stuff. The tradcons are extremely neurotic. The Democrats or whatever group of people, they're neurotic about something, and they want you to be as neurotic as them and pass on their neurosis so they can feel better about themselves. But I swear to God, guys, I am not neurotic about women not wanting a relationship with me, but only sex. It really does not matter to me. It really does not matter. And they hate that the most. A lot of women don't a lot of women in good I would say in good faith and sometimes bad faith don't like that. They'll say you're 35. Why aren't you married yet? Are you crazy? I'm like, it sounds like you're neurotic about getting married and you want me to feel like you do. You know. Yeah, I gotta go. There's 50 plus people watching. Drop a like. Great topic that dude should hear. All right, Julian, have a good night. Sorry I went so late, but I had a lot to say on the topic. What's up? What's up, Nuke? Hope you had a good weekend. Yep. They think detachment is butthurt or bitterness, but it is more so just realism and pragmatism or romanticism. Yeah, and this applies to many things. Like, like this presidential election, you'll see a lot of this, right? They think that because I don't care about certain issues that I am bitter or hateful or just giving up. I'm like, no, it's called detachment. Detachment from outcomes, detachment from things I cannot control, detachment from issues or world events and stuff that have nothing to do with me, that I can't change. That's true detachment. I cannot change women. So what do? I can incentivize them a little bit. I can become what they like. So, you know, maybe one or two of them a month or every 2 months find their way to my apartment. But what you'll never do, guys, is women will never give up their power in the marketplace. Fucking never. At least not without some kind of cataclysmic event. So, what are your options? What is your plan? Your plan is to adapt, to accept what is. You don't have to accept it right away. It takes time. You don't unplug and then the next day you're like, oh, what was I thinking? No, you're going to be angry. You're going to be bitter and resentful for a couple weeks, months, years. You can't stay there forever, though. You have to move on. You're entitled to your anger phase, but you have to move on because the years you spend mad at yourself, at women, at life, at society, you'll never get back. You will never get those back. So it isn't about resentment or bitterness, right? It's about accepting what you're given and doing the best you can and knowing that you're going to make mistakes still, but it's make less mistakes and have a path forward to deal with this problem, this reproductive problem. And trust me, it's going to hurt sometimes. You're going to meet great 25, 24, 23-year-old women, 26-year-old women, 27. They have so much going for themselves. They're starting orchestras or they're starting businesses. They're beautiful. Maybe they're not beautiful, but they're really smart. Got so many things going for themselves. Hot, maybe they're super hot, curvy, beautiful Mexican chick. Number 2 opera singer in Dallas. Things like that. And they're going to look at you in the eyes and say, I don't want anything serious, just fuck me. And you're going to be like, you're really nice. You're a really nice girl. Like you're good to your family. You you show up for your friends. You treat me so well. Why am I getting the boyfriend treatment? Why aren't you trying to get a boyfriend? The girl I described earlier in the show, I would just be in the area and call her, hey, you want to make me a coffee? I'm about to stop by before work. She'd be like, okay. That's boyfriend level privilege. Violin girl, she said, hey, I'm going to show you how good I am at hosting dinner parties. She was cooking 5 dishes at once on my stove and on my air fryer and all that, and oven. And all she said, hey, just make sure the guests find the guest room or the guest get together room here in the apartment. I was not the boyfriend. I was the hot guy she just saw from time to time. This woman slaved for 6 hours cooking just to prove to me she was good at it. That's husband boyfriend level privilege. Women don't want to be in relationships. They want pretend boyfriends. They want 1 a.m. They want dick appointments, whatever you call them, any name that we give them. That's what they want. The medium is the message. They have shown us what they want. The point of being better and improving, not only like getting muscles and money, but also like looking inward and working on yourself and getting over your hangups and getting over your ego, is so that if that anomaly comes along, if that girl that's worth your time comes along, you already have something worth uh worth her time besides a paycheck. Meanwhile, have some fun. Have some fun. I too wanted those girls to be like, "Hey, like you're so talented and hardworking. Like, why are you accepting like the little things I give you, just like sex and all that stuff?" And it's just, again, excuse me. Medium is a message, right? These women online, they try to trick you. They say like, "Oh, all you players are like denying women and breaking their hearts." I'm like, I haven't broken a heart in a while. I don't remember the last woman I genuinely, I think it was 2020, my girlfriend, when I left her. 2021. That was like 3.5 years ago, maybe more. That's the lie. That's their cover. That's how they cover up themselves, right? So let's be smart. Let's ignore all these harpy women online that are bored, that with their dumb opinions. Let's ignore all the lies that women say about there not being a good enough men. They're, if they wanted to be in relationships, they would. The way they reconcile that is having multiple relationships, and they're not always good for the guy. Like, there's a free food guy, and there's the take care of my dog guy, and there's the guy that I go to with my problems. You want to be the 1 a.m. Friday call guy. Trust me. It's not being a doomer, it's adapting to what is. So, you got $3 super sticker from Julian. You get one of these, sir. Hold on.
Thank you so much.
Wait, that was not the right one. Hold on. No. Damn it, I'm still learning these. Hold on. Oh wait, well, I'll just give you one of these. I'll give you the classic super chat.
Thank you so much. Best friend.
Anyways, guys, pretty much all had the subject. I know it's kind of a darker subject because a lot of guys really don't like the fact that they don't have full control of how women feel about them all the time, which is weird. As an adult, you don't control how people feel, but it is an emotional topic for men. And once they get over this, they can really start enjoying women for what they are. Right? Don't take seriously what the gods made for fun. They're not there to fulfill your innate destiny of becoming a patriarch, right? Becoming a Roman statue account patriarch. They are there for fun until they decide otherwise. And then they come to you and you're like, hey, what are we? That's when you decide for the relationship. But the 99.99% of other girls in situations, you don't control whether they want to be in a relationship or not. Are you insane? That's some like black manosphere tier level advice or platitudes. You hear it, like it's pretty pathetic. Chris Edge, I don't understand how guys can unplug for 2 years. I'm 4 years and still angry sometimes. Maybe I'm a slow learner. What happens is for guys that are unplugging and they start working on themselves, becoming more so like actually doing the work, not just like watching 4 hour red meat podcast. Like I'm talking about like what is wrong with me? What have I done wrong? Okay, I got fit. I'm doing better at work. What else can I do? Yeah, I gotta learn how to say no. I gotta be assertive, right? Assertive bill of rights, all that crap, right? Inner work, no more Mr. Nice Guy. Um, sidebar, red pill sidebar stuff. What happens is they meet a girl in this new their new red pill lens, and they start acting like they're supposed to. They use the red pill for good to have healthy relationships with women, and they see how awesome women can be once you have boundaries, once you're not afraid of her emotions anymore, once you make yourself your own point of origin, and you realize like, holy shit, it wasn't that women were bad, it's that I was a pushover. I sucked. And then they unplug almost immediately there. That's like the final step, getting the girl and using the red pill to improve your life instead of as a form of entertainment or just online discussion. That right there is what gets guys out of the rage phase the fastest. And it happened to me. I met a beautiful girl. I used all the red pill stuff, right? Obviously, I had a little bit of game, but I didn't know how to be in a relationship or whatever. And I met a girl that treated me like a king. And that was the last step. I had just finished reading The Manipulated Man. So I was like, man, this is really, there is no end to how horrible women are. And then I met a good girl and I said, wait, let me just use what I've learned, how to be more assertive. I think I just finished reading No More Mr. Nice Guy too. Don't remember. It was like 2018. And I had a great relationship. It was short, right? But at least in that, I learned like, holy shit, this is what happens when you follow this stuff. My relationships with women are fucking awesome, both casual and serious. And that's gonna get you. And after that, I was like, all right, I had no issues with women after that ever, even if they did shitty things to me, because I saw the best they had to offer. I saw the worst, but I also saw the best. And somehow now I was always on the best, most like 80% of the time on the best they have to offer side. And that's the point, guys. Remember, positive male identity, more sexual options. That's what that happens. You start liking women more. You don't pedestalize them like you did before, both positively or negatively. You just start seeing them as human beings, judging them based on like likability, Oh, hey, you're a nice chick. You open the door for me. You help me out. You're respectful. You're good in bed. Oh, yeah, sounds good to me. You're likable. I like you. Hey, you're kind of a bitch. That's I don't like you, but I like her. And that's it, guys. It's literally that simple. That's how you unplug the fastest is by internalizing the stuff as fast as you can, getting over your ego, getting over your need to be a messiah and fix the world, and using it in your own life, getting your balls as a man, grabbing your balls and telling women no. How much you want to bet a lot of these dating podcasts and red meat and bitch about women podcasts, right? Those men can't say no. Haven't learned to tell a woman no. Haven't learned how to be assertive with a woman. They haven't. And that's why they're still stuck in this anger phase. Because they do not know how to be assertive. So being independent of outcomes will save so much money and energy and improve one's life. Yeah, it gets yeah, it takes time to get there though. Getting detaching yourself from an outcome is not easy. Don't think that you just snap your fingers. It takes time, it takes rejection. It takes great successes and great failures with women. So over time you'll get better at detaching. But at first it's going to be very difficult. right? But once you do, oh my god, life gets more peaceful and you get more chill. You have a muse master. You're like, yeah, I got turned down. I forgot. Like you'll forget you get turned down like the next day. You're like, did I get turned? Did the girl say no? I don't remember. Whatever. And then you move on. It's great. So we got a 199. You get one of these, sir.
Thank you so much, best friend.
All right, we got Matthew W.
Howdy, fellas.
with a 199. Good discussion, dude. Thank you. Are you guys hearing the sound drops? You guys heard this one?
Howdy, fellas.
Trying to make it more Texas like, King of the Hill. Yeah. Matthew W. Fair. It's just after that much time, any severe frustration is an incongruence with your perception of what should be and what is reality. Exactly. You're allowed to be frustrated, right? But the thing is, the world's going to keep turning. Women are going to keep fucking. Guys that get it are going to keep pursuing women and being successful. And women are going to keep doing their thing, right? Where do you fit in that puzzle? You can complain and be mad at hoes, or you can go out and get yours. Those are your options. Those are your choices. So that's all you got. Anyways, any other questions, guys? Before I go, the floor is open for discussion. Yeah, I'm looking at this thread. Like I read some of the responses. Yeah, I'll probably let me present it again. Share screen. It's sad because a lot of guys just struggle with this. Like Gunnar says, how are women you're having sex with on a regular basis not eventually pushing for relationships? Sounds like too much comfort being given to her, playing house over texting, not enough anxiety. Dude, if you're getting blowjobs, again, these guys they cannot understand that women are the ones that assign you a role sexually, right? If you are having sex and she's coming over to hook up with you, why are you worried about anxiety and game and all that? You won. That's the point of game. Sometimes it's just to not have to use it all the time. Dude, she knows you're awesome. Look, she knows your life. Women aren't stupid. On the drive to go to the bar where you live, she saw tall, attractive white people. She knows, like, oh, this guy's doing pretty okay in life. And and she sits down and was just like, man, if this guy doesn't say anything stupid, I think I'm gonna fuck this guy. But all he has to do is not say anything stupid. Just ask him about my day, a little playful banter, and just exist. I've had enough. You win, sir. You can tell sometimes too, like this happened to me with one of the hottest Asian women I've ever dated. Literally, body of a black woman, but face of Lucy Liu. I don't know. I pulled her off Tinder. Somehow she showed up at a bar. Her friends were trying to fight her not to go out that night, and I told her, "No, we're going out." She was too fine. And around an hour in, she starts looking around like, hey, do you live around here? And that's exactly when I knew. She's like, please, you win. Shut up, dumbass. Take me to your apartment and get it done. I've had enough of this little game that you're spitting. You win. I get it. And that's what I did, guys. If you were one of those guys that don't have experience, that want to be like overthinking it like this, you would have lost. You would have been like, hold on, wait, I live down the street. And but first, let me tell you this awesome story about how awesome I am. Like, no, dude. When a girl starts looking around at the exit and starts asking you, "Hey, so you live around here?" She's saying, "Fuck me, dumbass. You've said enough," and then you go do it, guys. That is why it's so important, this role shit, to know it, because if you don't know it, you're going to lose opportunities, especially with very attractive women. Attractive women will always have more abundance than you, no matter what part of your life you're at, right? Their hyperabundance precludes their need to settle down with any guy. In their mind, they're going to be hot forever. They're not going to give up their amazing lifestyle for one guy. And if they do, it's going to be a placeholder boyfriend, which still allows them to keep the door open. Point blank, period. But anyways. But yeah. Let me see any other cool ones. Yeah. And I have a funny sound drop that I want to use, but like let me wait till it's appropriate. But here we go. Daily reminder. Here we go. And one of those reply girls that like read like everything you post, she wants to say, no, actually you're wrong. You know, like, but actually she's like the female version. Women like this are like the female version of actually that's them. Daily reminder: most people are not engaged in casual relationships. The average person is a serial monogamous. All this, all this for a small group of particularly mentally ill, maladjusted people. Um, Serial monogamous, right? What is serial monogamy? It's just casual relationships, but who gets to decide the time period of what monogamy is? If you're a girl that's sleeping with a new guy every 3 months because the other guy didn't work out, is that casual dating or is that serial monogamy? Who gets to decide what serial monogamy is? If it's 2 weeks, hey, I met this guy, didn't like him, I'm gonna date another guy. Is that serial monogamy, or is it like every 2 years you fuck one different dude? This is just like an anti-slut. Not all girls are sluts, like you say, kind of deal. This guy's rolling, Gooner Goonington rolling for the 1 a.m. Friday call. That's funny. Imagine accepting any of this. It's not like there is no choice. This is what is. You don't get to decide what woman's role for you is. Most women don't want to have sex with you, even if you're a Troy Francis level worldwide world class player, right? So what you do is you become attractive as possible to create more opportunities for sex, which create more opportunities for relationships, not the other way around. For the love of God, you have to get hot before you even think about a relationship, not the other way around. Yeah, see, this guy gets it. Most guys can't even get her to show up on our first date. Talking about I have control access to relationships. Come on, man. Get out of here. This is failed frame from the get-go. If all you want it to be some fuck toy, then don't be surprised to get left for a new one. That's the female mindset again, right? Guys, we don't like guys, we could fuck 100 women in a month. Won't affect us at all. Relationship is her problem. Know your worth, kings. So you're telling me, dude, that women being hot and attractive, women want to have sex with you is like beneath you. You're so awesome that the only you get to decide how women feel about you. Is that how that works? Where's Archwinger when you need him? I know Archwinger's in here somewhere in this thread, but let's see. Yeah, to quote, there you go. Rob says with some kind of sense. To quote Rise Stone, act accordingly. Yeah, know your role. Yeah, forward Playboy. See all the guys that get it? You're like, yeah, duh. I thought you guys knew. Oh, Nick, you're doing that thing again where you pretend bending to the female imperative is acceptance or abundance. Just call it like it is, man. You're a doormat. Secret King, right? He thinks that he's so awesome that women are going to listen to him and be like, ladies, only have sex with men that you want to be in a relationship with because I said so. Like, get out of here, bro. Are you serious? Um, yeah, a lot of guys can't accept this. But, guys, basically, that's it. Um, Again, know your role, blah blah blah. You guys get it. And you have to move on from this whole secret king thing where you control how women feel about you all the time, right? And realize too that this is dating in the abstract, right? The only thing you should worry about in real life on in front of a girl, right, is I want to have sex with this girl. That's it. And then figure out a way not to convince her, because she can convince herself. Figure out a way to convey that you are worth having sex with. And that's it. Don't worry about roles or anything like that. Remember, the point of this maxim isn't to make you black pill or to be like angry or any of that stuff, right? The point of this maxim is to get that weight of worrying and being neurotic that women want to give you and passing it off back to them. Right? Because they're gonna say, hey, you're this age and you're not married, or you're just a hoe, you're just a degenerate. I'm just like, no. If women want to be in relationships, they would. It's on you. Here's the ball. Ball's in your court. You have never had more opportunities and choices. It's like what it's like. This is I think I said it another day in the space. It's like sending a girl to get deodorant, or like, hey, yeah, go get deodorant, or no, her complaining, I need deodorant. I'm out of deodorant. I need deodorant. I'm out of deodorant. And you're like, okay, well, we're at the store. Go grab some. I'll wait for you in the car. And then she comes out of the store, sits in the car, and says, hey. And you're like, what, did you get deodorant? Like, no, there were just too many choices, so I didn't get anything. That's what that sounds like to me, to us as men. You mean you went into the store with like 20 different brands of deodorant, different smells, different brands, different colors, and you just said, no, this is too much, and you went back out? No, absolutely not. It doesn't make any sense. All of this backlash or push against this is like it's meant to, they just want the neuroticism and their problems to be your problems too, right? That's what losers do. I'm poor, everyone else should be poor or worry about being poor. Or I'm short, everyone should be worried, or whatever. Like it's like the short guys, right? Like, oh, I'm short, I never get laid, and then you go out and you see like short guys shorter than you with like hot tall chicks dancing or talking at a bar. Those short guys wanted other short guys to feel as neurotic as them about their height. Whereas the other short guys are like, fuck that, dude. I'm just gonna live my life. I don't care. Like, yeah, I'm short. Shit happens. And they move on. That's what women do when they get mad, or men get mad when you say know your role. Like, dude, you don't want a relationship and a family. I'm like, yeah, dude, but that's like not a goal. That happens organically. Meanwhile, I'm gonna have fun. You can worry about STDs and like your soul and being degenerate and God and all that stuff. That is your problem. You're not going to pass your worries and eroticism onto me. I worked way too hard to get over myself. Now it's time for you to get over yourself. I know my role. Do you know yours? All right, guys. I just want to thank you guys. So I'll give you the sound drop.
Thank you so much. Thank you for being so dumb.
So dumb enough to hear me talk for 2 hours, but I gotta go, guys. I appreciate you guys sticking around. This is a very important topic. This is gonna save you a lot of headache, a lot of emotional pain, because I know at first it's not easy to kind of accept that you no longer are like some kind of uh that you may not be worth getting into a relationship to, right? And that's why I always say, yeah, never forget the component of forgiving yourself. You're going to discover when you get an LTR. A lot of women are like, how the fuck, like, how did I find you? You're like amazing. Every girl that I've dated, like seriously, like LTR, or like, wow, you're just like, how did I find you? And the thing is, like, that's how you know, like, you don't. You don't have to tell her. You shouldn't. But like deep down, you're just like, yeah, it's just because women are silly. women don't understand value, what a valuable guy is. So that's why you got to forgive yourself when women don't see you as the awesome masculine alpha patriarch that you are, that you could be for them, and that you want to be for a chick that's worth it. Don't blame yourself for that. It's the extreme apparent perceived hyperabundance they have, right? So let's reconcile. Instead of getting worried and in a tiffy about women not being able to see our value, how about we get what we want from them? They're unable to see what we really can offer them, right? At least until it's too late. Let's get what we need from them for free, willingly, of course. And then when one of those chicks, of the several or many you're gonna date, kind of like, wait a minute, this guy is pretty awesome. All right, I'm gonna chase him down a little bit. I'm gonna see what he's about. Then you'll be ready on your terms to get that girl in a relationship and not worry about all the other 10, 20, 30 casual relationships you've had, because those women never wanted you. They never wanted your commitment anyway. Your commitment didn't matter to them. So, anyways, guys, thank you. I appreciate the super chats. I have plenty of new sound drops, for you guys. I just don't know how to use them like within a show. I don't want to make the show too funny, but I gotta say, Technical Nuke.
Tactical nuke coming!
That one sounds pretty cool, Let me see if I have another one. I like this one too. I think they're silly.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
So, all right, guys. I love you guys. Take care. Have a successful week of dating, banging your girlfriends, your wives, getting shit done, and enjoy you guys' week. Goodbye.